Okay, so this morning I've been filming some content for short form and I've been doing a bunch of kitchen restocking. So I made some focaccia, I've made some more tomatillo green salsa, and it is, honestly, it's so good and it makes me so excited that we have so many tomatillos growing in the garden. I'm definitely going to show you around the garden today because I think I promised that in my first kitchen restock and I didn't. Typical Immy, promising things that she doesn't deliver on. But yesterday, I realized that my phone storage was full. Tried to back it up on my computer. I don't like to back things up on the iCloud just because I just feel like I don't like my stuff being on the internet. I know it's like not on the internet, it's on like a server or whatever, but I like it to be on my computer or on my hard drive. Anyway, long story short, my phone crashed, couldn't update it, had to restore it, lost everything on my phone. And actually, in a way, it's nice to start fresh, but also at the same time, having to put my passwords into every app that I have to remember to download is probably the most painful part of this whole thing. Anyway, I haven't downloaded the app for seeing the camera on my phone, and I need to do that, but it's a really terrible app. It's quite painful. So filming today is going to be interesting. Today we're going to finish that jumper. We're going to look around the garden and it's just going to be very casual. People want more casual vlogs. I'm going to make it happen. Also, if you want, I've started to make short form content that's a lot more casual and longer. So it's kind of like a vlog, but for vertical. And I've been doing that on TikTok. If you didn't know I had TikTok, I've just kind of started it. And it feels like a lot of very little pressure because I don't really have any followers there. So it's quite nice to just be able to just put up content and see how it does. And I made a fun one today that I just put up on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram and you want more content, go and follow me because it really supports me. The tomatoes are starting to turn red in the garden, which is, and they're so tall. I'm also actually propagating some of the tomato plants because I've decided I'm going to try and make some sort of DIY hydroponic system because I think that's going to be really fun. I have the lettuce grow, but that's like an expensive piece of equipment and it is expensive to keep it up. Like when the seedlings die or the seeds die, whatever, the plants outgrow the machine, the thing. Oh, the words today are just not there. And you have to buy more seedlings. So I'm trying to create something using these tomatoes and I might try other ones where I start with microgreens. I'm going to try it with loofah as well. So much exciting stuff happening. But yeah, I'm going to try that. But I have to wait for the tomatoes that I've taken off from the big plants to grow their roots. And then we're going to build the system. It's going to be so exciting. Yeah, so that's it. So this is very casual today. We're very chill today. I'll show you the tomatillo salsa. I'm also going to make that focaccia. Might go for a cycle. The weather is just so nice and the sunflowers are out and the bees are buzzing around. It's just a great time. It's a great time of year. I feel like August is super chill, which is why I wanted to do Vlog-ust. I know I haven't done very well with it, but I have been putting up more content than I have in the past few months. So I still think that it's a success. Also, the cosmos have seeded themselves in the far raised bed, which is so exciting because the other big ones died. Probably because we're in Michigan and I never fed them water. But I'm very excited to show you the garden. What are we going to do now? I think I need to eat some food now. I'm pretty hungry. I'm just too hungry. Also an update on the sauerkraut. Obviously I put too much liquid in here and sort of came out the top and I had to adjust for that. But it's bubbling away. Definitely a lot of stuff going on in there. Because it's so much warmer here, I don't really know how long to leave it for. But I think we're gonna have some good sauerkraut in a couple of weeks. I think this might be my new preferred method. Then I don't have to worry about creating little pressure bombs that are just gonna explode on me. But still, gotta taste test this when it's ready, so we're still yet to be determined whether this is actually a good method. I really underestimated how long this jumper would take me to do. I think even though I've made a couple mistakes, but nothing that is actually that bad. I think I learned a lot of patience on the first cardigan that I was sewing, or knitting rather, and I think because I know that it will turn out so much better if I just go back and correct those mistakes, I've been a lot more motivated to do that with this jumper. And we almost had a disaster on the back where the white met the first pink and looked a little off, which is very confusing. So I just used something I picked up from the perpendicular invisible seam, where you skip a couple, or you go under a couple little extra things and go around. And I think I managed to sort it out, which I'm very impressed with. The only annoying thing is I ran out of the dark pink thread, so I couldn't sew the sleeves on with dark pink. I had to sew them on with the white, which is very annoying because now you can slightly see the white when it like hangs on my shoulder. But I was too impatient, and for some reason I used white instead of the other pink, which would have blended in just a little bit better. I literally can't believe I'm doing the last bits now, where I'm just sewing up the side, the other side, and the other arm. Also on the other arm, another mistake I made, I clearly didn't realize the importance of measuring I thought I had. It said go to the middle of the shoulder and measure 20 centimeters to the other side. And then that's where you start knitting the shoulder on, because I knitted this in 4 pieces. And I thought I had, but I clearly was off by maybe 4 stitches. So then it's a little tight under the armpit, where either the pattern was tight or I just stitched it wrong as well, because it's supposed to all stitch up nicely, but then some were off and then I had to just improvise. It looks fine, but now that sleeve, when you go down, where the join they meet, the colors are just very slightly off. No one's gonna notice except for me, or unless people are looking really closely, but I think that it's gonna be just fine. I really do think it must be the way that I stitched it, rather than, because I was very meticulous with my notes. I ensured that everything that I did on the back, the number of rows I did for each color, for each section, I was very specific, and I noted down how many rows it took me to reach the measurements that they wanted you to reach on the pattern, so that everything was the same. And I measured everything, like I was very, very specific. But I also did, because I ran out of the dark pink, the neck is not as high as it should be. That's okay, it still looks good, but yeah, bit annoying. I also just watched a video of someone reacting to YouTube Shorts and what they're getting fed. And I just got fed something by Piers Morgan. And I don't know why, but it's like, it literally, I mean, I do know why, but it's put me in a bad mood. I'm like in such a bad mood. And I'm trying to knit away the annoyance, but only someone like Piers Morgan can put you in a bad mood for the entire day. Well, not only. I'm sure the US have an equivalent to Piers Morgan that would put you in equally a bad mood, but I'm going to continue knitting, try and get this done, and then I will show you the final result, because I was supposed to go to the gym. Frank just went to the gym, but I just don't want to. Also, you may have noticed I got changed, because even though I'm an adult, a 31-year-old adult, and I was wearing a menstrual cup and period underwear, I still managed to ruin my favorite dungarees. You can never be safe enough. You can never. So yeah, that also put me in a bad mood. What a day. What a day. Okay, so I finally finished my jumper. This is what it is looking like. I'm inexplicably just in a bad mood. I think this is just because I'm on my period, but I should be so happy. And also, I'm annoyed about little things. Like, this jumper is literally perfect, except for the white here, which is just really annoying me. And also, halfway through, the yarn got really thin, and instead of just cutting it and adding a little extra bit on instead, I just decided I couldn't be bothered and went for it. So now I have this, like, where is it? Line here of really thin yarn. And I didn't think it would be that obvious, but it's obvious. And the only reason I'm so annoyed about it is because I'm overreacting. I'm in a bad mood, and because it was avoidable, and because other than that, this is literally a perfect jumper. Like, I did everything else really well. I did a good job, and I'm mad about it. This time though, I am going to block it. I think blocking is going to make it fit or sit better on my body. I really like it. That's all I have to say about that. Good morning. I'm in a better mood today, so I forgot to show you the garden last night, so I'm going to do that just before I edit this video, because the sun is just not come over the garden yet, so we can show you without having blaring sun on. The sunflowers are actually so high now that you probably can't see them, but I'll take you outside, show you everything that we're growing, show you the sunflowers, and then also show you everything the lettuce grow. And I also planted a couple more just random things to see if they would do well, and they all pretty much came up, which is kind of wild. So let's go out and check out everything that we are growing in the garden. So in this window pot we have some nasturtium and some strawberry plants, which are actually doing a lot better and throwing off some flowers. We also have some more strawberry plants here, which they're doing okay. We have a hydrangea. That's not a hydrangea. I can't remember what that's called. Our blueberry plants got absolutely charred by the sun when we were away, but luckily I've moved them to a nicer spot and they're recovering. We have some basil and a volunteer courgette. I'm not sure where that came from. And then these are the 3 courgettes that I planted quite a few weeks ago now, but they came up 2 weeks ago and they're already huge. Okay, the lettuce grower is now full and everything is growing, so let me take you through everything that we have in here. So to start, we have some Greek basil, and then we also have some Thai basil. It's really beautiful and fragrant. And then of course we just have some normal Genovese basil too. I decided to put lots of greens in here because they don't get eaten by bugs so much. And then we also have just a couple of flowers. These are red zinnias. We've got one over here and then another one over here too. We have some parsley, and then we also have some lettuce with these annoying bugs that keep coming into our garden. Some more greens and some more greens. And then we have some Astro Rocket, which is so delicious. And a mini cucumber. I'm very excited for these because all my cucumbers died. And we have 2 different types of beans. We've got purple beans and then we have green beans as well. These will trail downwards, so I'm pretty excited to see what they turn out like. We have another mini cucumber, and then we have a courgette, which is actually already starting to produce teeny tiny courgettes, which is going to be cool. And then the best one, the one I'm most excited about, is this one, which is a cucamelon. I'm really excited to see if this produces anything and what they taste like. These sunflowers were a real surprise. I don't think we realised that they were in the garden at all, and they are some of my favourite things that have grown. The cherry tomatoes have gone wild, and it's amazing to see, even when I chop it down, how much or how many more things grow. We also have some San Marzanas and some cayenne peppers, which are doing really well, and these are the tomatillos, which to be honest I think are my favourite things. I didn't realise that they grew in a kind of lantern style, but I love them. This is another courgette that I randomly planted and is actually doing really well. I didn't expect it to come up, to be honest. And then these are our columbines, which are doing so well, which is really, really exciting. But yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.